What would actually happen if the long-standing tensions between the United States and Iran escalated into a full-scale global war? The consequences would reach far beyond the Middle East, triggering a series of global crises that could reshape the world as we know it. Today, we're breaking down the global impact, starting with the one thing that affects everyone: energy. At the heart of the crisis is the Strait of Hormuz. It's the world's most critical maritime choke point, carrying 20% of the global oil trade. Even a temporary disruption here would effectively halt a massive portion of the world's petroleum flow, causing panic in energy markets. We could see oil prices surge past $120 or even $200 per barrel. For the average person, this means skyrocketing costs for gas and heating. But it's not just about the pump. This energy shock would ignite a global inflationary firestorm. Every 10% increase in oil prices adds significant pressure to global inflation, hitting everything from food to manufacturing. Financial markets would react with extreme volatility. Stock indexes would likely plummet as investors flee to safe haven assets. Economists warn of stagflation, a dangerous combination of stagnant economic growth and rising prices that could lead to a global recession. Supply chains already under stress would buckle. The automotive and tech industries, in particular, would face crippling logistics costs. When energy costs rise this sharply, production slows down, leading to shortages of essential goods around the world. While most markets suffer, safe havens like gold and the US dollar would likely see their value soar amid the uncertainty. Beyond the economy, the geopolitical landscape would undergo a seismic shift. This wouldn't stay a two-nation conflict. Iran would likely target US bases across the region, potentially drawing in allies like Israel, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE. The stability of the entire Middle East would be at stake, forcing nations to take sides in a conflict with no easy exit. Decades of economic and reputational growth in Gulf states could be erased in a matter of weeks by the fallout of war. Major powers like Russia and China would face difficult choices, further complicating international relations and diplomatic efforts. The resulting instability could fuel extremism and lead to a permanent change in how the world handles maritime security. But perhaps the most devastating impact would be humanitarian. A full-scale war would trigger a catastrophe on an unprecedented scale. Millions of people would likely be displaced, adding to an already fragile humanitarian situation in the Middle East and beyond. Neighboring countries would struggle to manage the influx of refugees, straining resources and social structures across borders. The destruction of essential infrastructure, hospitals, water systems, and power grids would lead to a breakdown of civil services. As always, civilians would pay the highest price, facing food insecurity, disease, and the loss of their homes and livelihoods. From the shockwaves in our energy markets to the complete destabilization of the global economy and the tragic human cost, the stakes of a US-Iran war are not just regional. They are truly global, affecting every corner of the planet. Understanding these impacts is the first step in recognizing why de-escalation is the only sustainable path forward.